I had a really good friend, and he went to college. We went to high school together. And so when he went to college, he had this radical conversion. And he started posting on social media all these things about Catholicism. And at this time, I was really getting more, into scripture myself. And, you start having some, alarms that, okay, is this Catholic teaching contradicting what I'm reading in the Bible from my, interpretation, right? And so we disagreed about some things around Catholic social teaching, right? Because I was still Protestant at that time. And so we began dialoguing. And that's when he pretty much made a definitive and bold statement to me after kind of months of dialogue. And he presented me, and he basically, the proposition was that the Catholic Church is the one true church that Jesus Christ founded. And I mean, that statement's either true or it's false. Right?
How do you react to that?
Well, I mean, it's unsettling. Right, because it's an audacious claim, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a bold claim. It's saying, well, this is the truth, and it's not an option amongst many. This is, the way that Christ designed, the ordinary means that he gave us. And so, I mean, it's unsettling because my whole life is, I don't have that perspective. What are you trying to say?
Yeah, it's like I can worship the way I want to worship.
Yeah, I can worship. I can worship the way I want to worship. Church is just me. It's not an actual visible sign that distributes sacraments. It's not a physical body. So that's unsettling to any convert.
So you grew up thinking, oh, if I don't like this particular church, I can go to that church.
Yes,
I can go to, and I'm still in. I'm still good.
And then too, as you begin to really get into Catholicism and you understand mortal and venial sins, and that Catholic guilt's real. As a convert, I will tell you that because I had never done an examination of conscience. I had never actually sat down and understood where in my life am I having shortcomings. Where am I not reconciling every thought and desire to Christ? And from that perspective, is you don't have a sense of urgency to holiness. Right. It's my day-to-day decisions and day-to-day choices. They're transient, but I still love Jesus. I'm once saved, always saved. That was my understanding. And, when you get proposals like that and start looking into the teachings of the church, I mean, it paralyzes you. It shook me.
Wow. So what did you do when you had that conversation with that friend? What was the first thing you did?
We try to prove him wrong. Right. Because
Okay.
he's either wrong or right. Right. And so I'm going to try to prove you wrong. Right. And so I am an inquisitive person. I always have been. I can dialogue without emotion, and actually look into something, with an unbiased perspective. And so the only way to actually, try to refute those claims is to understand what the church actually teaches. Like, do they actually worship Mary? Well, let me actually see what the church teaches and not just, what my perception may be.
Or what you've always been told.
Or what I've always been told by people that weren't Catholic, or the Catholics that, like I said, didn't even know the faith themselves.
So you went into church teaching, into Catholic teachings.
Yeah, so looking at the early church fathers, right? So you're looking at the Bible, it's like, okay, Christ crucified in 33 AD. Okay, let's start here. Well, how did we get to 2023? Like what happened? So you begin to read the early church fathers, and I was like, oh, snap.